After swearing in the first Hispanic councilman in Fairview history, Assembly Speaker Vincent Prieto spoke to us at length about the latest developments regarding North Jersey casinos.
Prieto, whose legislative district includes Fairview, swore in John Gomez, a former Board of Education member. Also being sworn in were Councilman Stephen Russo and Mayor Vincent Bellucci. After the fact, Prieto got down to brass tacks regarding the latest developments in trying to bring casinos to North Jersey.
See, there's been an ongoing debate that actually, I have actually moved the bar a lot to do a compromise bill that would work for everybody. There was a reference to a host fee. I expanded on that host fee to be 4% off the top. And what that would do would give 1% to each of the host municipalities, so it would be each one, and to each of the host counties. And I think this is very important because these municipalities and these counties are going to have to deal with different aspects, whether it's traffic, police protection, sanitation, all these other aspects that come along with this to make it a good, clean, safe environment. So I thought that was a great opportunity to give something back to the host communities and host counties.
So from your perspective, what do you think is the biggest sticking point between what your bill wants to do versus the bill that Senate President Sweeney wants to see get passed here?
Well, I said, if you look at the two bills, I've come far and wide on compromise. On the amount of money, I was at 35%, which I thought was a very fair amount to give to Atlantic City. I've actually moved to where Atlantic City said they needed the money because I did not want to be the obstacle of getting this done. Then they, it was supposed to be, we wanted 3 casinos, they wanted 1, so it became 2. But then the 2 licenses, I said it should be open and free to everybody. The Senate President's bill has both licenses going to current operators in Atlantic City. So I compromised. I said, we'll give 1 to current members in Atlantic City that they can buy for that one, and then 1 open to everybody. And that wouldn't preclude the people in Atlantic City. I think free enterprise is the key here. We don't want to go into a constitutional problem that it may violate federal commerce clause if you just limit it to Atlantic City. This would take that off the table. I've seen a legal opinion that says that would be a problem. We don't want something to be challenged in the courts that will take years. We need this to happen. We need revenues in the state of New Jersey, as every one of your people that listen to your program know that this is the #1 issue in the state of New Jersey is property taxes. We need to start getting revenues so we can start whittling away at that big problem that we have, that we're #1 in the nation. We don't want to be #1.
If I'm not mistaken, there needs to be some movement on this by January 12th when the session ends. So do you think that's viable? You think this is something that could happen?
Well, let me give you this misnomers out there. The world doesn't end after January 11th where we have this session. Obviously we would love to do it in this one because there's to get a constitutional amendment on the ballot, you need in 2 consecutive years, 41 and 21 in each house, 2 years in a row. And that would we be trying to get this one as the first. If you don't do that in the next session, you could actually get 48 and 24 votes in each house. And I would tell you, I'm going to have 52 members. I don't see a problem whatsoever. In the Senate, they have already had bipartisan support coming out of committee. They have more than enough votes to do this. So can we do it in this one? Well, it would be up to this. It'd be the bill that I've proposed or the bill that Steve Sweeney has proposed. And I'm confident that we will get it done. And if everybody sees it on paper, what it looks like, my bill is a compromise bill that I think everybody should vote for it. And like I said, the proof is there. I deal in facts. Look at the 2 bills, where they started, where they are today, and then you be the judge.
Very good. And then finally, the other aspect of this that a lot of folks are talking about is a lot of people think, as you kind of just touched on, North versus South gubernatorial politics. This is Steve Fulop versus Steve Sweeney. I mean, what's your take on all that discussion?
That's something that is, I think, has just been created. I can tell you this, Mayor Fulop, I've kept them involved and informed on all the issues where I've been moving on this. There was a lot of talk about that he was on a conference call. It was a conference call that I set up, and there were many leaders throughout North Jersey that were on that conference call because I wanted to inform them where I was moving and what I was doing. And then I wanted to inform them he potentially can be a host mayor of a host city that may have a casino. So obviously he needs to be informed, and his input is always greatly appreciated, as there were leaders from Essex and Bergen County in that conference call, and many staffers. So that, I think, is just rhetoric. People are trying to sort of, as magic, is misdirection. Like, look over here, it's politics. No, look at my bill, look at the two bills, put them side by side. How they started, where they are today. My bill is the right bill. This is just all an illusion to take, away from the actual facts.
Richard McGrath, a spokesman for Sweeney, told us in an email that Sweeney originally wanted 50% of the tax revenues allocated to Atlantic City, further stating that allowing Atlantic City operators to get both North Jersey licenses is to protect the state's interest, since a new operator could cannibalize existing New Jersey properties, thus hurting the overall revenues generated from the casinos. McGrath did not address the Fulop versus Sweeney aspects surrounding the situation.
I'm John Hydas with the Hudson County View, the eye of the community.